Well, hey there, guys. How you guys doing on this Wednesday? It is a Wednesday afternoon, and kind of getting back into the little uh, free agent slash team kind of off season previews here of the teams, and we're doing Boston right now as we're kind of going in order, in alphabetical order. That way, I don't get because me with my ADHD brain, if I'm not going in alphabetical order, I'll totally forget who I'm doing. So we're doing Boston in this one, and Boston's an interesting team. They missed the playoffs this year for the first time in a while. They went and they fired their coach. They hired a new one. They brought in Marco Sturm to be the head coach, and apparently he wants to get this team back in the playoffs. And some people, I think, are probably like, do you maybe take a couple of years. I think there's some people that are thinking that maybe they should try and tank for Gavin McKenna, which he's not coming out in this year's draft, but he will be in next year's draft. So a lot of people are thinking the Bruins should maybe try and tank next year to try and see if they can get into the draft lottery and maybe win the draft lottery. So, but Marco Sturm is like, no, we kind of want to be back in the playoffs. So their projected cap space for July 1st is $26,268,333. It's a lot of cap. It's a good chunk of cap space. Now, they do have a couple of UFAs that they do have to worry about that I don't know. I don't think is going to probably will not exactly cost a lot of money. They've got more restricted free agents than unrestricted. On the UFA front, they have Cole Koepke, they have Parker Wotherspoon, and Henry Jokiharju. Now, I don't think if they tried to re-sign those three, I don't think it would cost a whole ton for each one of them. But that's if they decide to try to re-sign those three. They may or they may not. The restricted free agents, they've got a couple that are going to be up. They're restricted free agents. One is a restricted free agent, but will be a UFA in 26-27, and that being Morgan Geekie. But they have Matthew Poitras. He's a restricted free agent in 26-27. They have Fabian Lysell. He's an RFA in another couple of years. And of course, you have Morgan Geekie, who has got one more. He'll have one more year of restricted free agency, but will be a UFA in 26-27. So, if they want to try and re-sign Geekie, I don't know. Geekie might just be willing to sign a 1 year, maybe a 1 year deal that gets him to UFA status, and then he might want to try and hit the market and see what he can get. But then you have Jacob Lauko, you have John Beecher, and the guy that they got in a trade with Minnesota, they have Marat Kuznetsov. Now again, they got him in a trade from Minnesota, which I thought Kuznetsov would have been a pretty good fit here in Minnesota. But the Wild decided to trade him. So those are Lauko, Beecher, and Kuznetsov. They are RFAs this year. Well, and Geekie is technically an RFA this year, with becoming a UFA in another year after this. So, what do they decide to do? We're not entirely sure. We look at their draft, what their draft is the next couple of years, and Puckpedia has really turned into a very good source. All right, sorry, I had a little coughing fit there. But Puckpedia has been a very good source since Cap Friendly went down. Puckpedia has really taken the taking the reins and is really, really cool to look at. So we go and we look at their draft. We look at the draft this year. They have one pick in the first round. They have 2 second-round picks. Then they have 1 pick in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th round. So they're not without any draft picks this year. 2026, they have 2 first-round picks. They have 1 second, 1 third, 1 fourth, no 5th, 1 6th, and 1 7th round pick. 2027, again, they have 2 first-round picks, 1 second rounder, no 3rd rounder, and then they have 1 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th round. Those are over the next 3 years. That, of course, could potentially change with any trades or stuff like that. And I look at the cap space that they have, and a lot of people are really curious about what Mitch Marner is going to do. It would not shock me, with the amount of cap space that the Bruins have, 26 million, I mean, a little over 26 million in cap space, they can afford Mitch Marner. Oh, would that not choke Maple Leaf fans? Could you imagine if that were to happen? If Mitch Marner on July 1st were to sign with the Boston Bruins? The Bruins have been a thorn in the Maple Leafs side for years because the Maple Leafs cannot beat them in the playoffs. Maybe Mitch Marner goes and looks at the Bruins as a free agent and says, hey, we can't beat them. Screw it, I'll join them. I could see it happen. It wouldn't shock me. If the Bruins really want to make a big splash at the opening of free agency, throwing half of that cap space at Mitch Marner, I could see him do it. I really could. Now, I do think there are going to be some teams that will probably offer more, but Marner wants to be on a winning team. He wants to have a chance to win. Boston just a couple years ago set an NHL record for wins. 2023, they won 65 games. They flamed out in the first round, but they still won 65 games. That was just a couple years ago. So, I don't know. Would Mitch Marner sign with the Boston Bruins? It wouldn't shock me. And again, with the UFAs that they currently have, I can't see that eating up a whole ton of that amount of cap space. But again, we're not sure. And of course, they do still have Lauko, Beecher, and Kuznetsov to worry about as RFAs this season. 2 seasons from now in 26-27, and Geeky too. Geeky's an RFA this year too, but he might want to just sign a 1-year deal that takes him to unrestricted free agency and then test the market. Poitras and Lysell, they have under contract and they become RFAs in 26-27. So, I mean, they've got some room here. The Bruins have some room to potentially make a big splash. And if Marco Sturm, the new head coach, and Don Sweeney and Cam Neely, if they want this team to get back into the playoffs, making a pitch and potentially signing Mitch Marner, I think that would be a huge. I mean, let's put Mitch Marner and David Pastrnak on the same line. Ooh. And just ooh. But if the Bruins really wanted to stick it to the Toronto Maple Leafs, and if Mitch Marner really wanted to stick it to the Toronto Maple Leafs, going to the Boston Bruins, I think would do that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. What do you guys think happens? Are any of the RFAs looking at any real big pay raises? Are the guys that are hitting the market? Do the Bruins offer them contracts? Do they offer them raises, or the Bruins just let him go to market and, just be like, hey, thanks for your time. Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button. It definitely helps the channel. Only takes a second. Just tap that like button. Also, too, hit that subscribe button. That would be greatly appreciated. And it would be absolutely awesome. Share the video with everyone that you know. Share the video with everyone that you don't know. And if you have friends out there who love hockey and love watching hockey stuff, tell them about the channel. I'd love to have every hockey fan in the world. I'd love to have you all join me here at Larry's House of Hockey. And especially if you're new, if you're new to the game, I'd love to have you here too. And yeah, so let me know what you guys think about the Bruins, and do you think they try to make a big splash in free agency? Do they try and snag Mitch Marner? To me, with that amount of cap space, I don't see why they wouldn't try. At least try. But we'll see what happens. Let me know again what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I will see you guys later.